Hey friends, it's me, LlamaMamaKayla, also known as Kayla. Thank you for clicking on this video. All this week I am going to be working on crocheting a cake, and today is part 1 of that series. So I wanted to invite you to join me and learn to crochet cakes and how to design different cakes and just have fun with it. You can come up with different themes for your cakes, and I'm just going to walk you through that. So in today's video we are going to make the icing for cake 1, and I hope that you will join me for this video and for each video this week. And if you need any help, let me know in the comments, but I think this is very simple and you're not going to have any problems with it. Excuse me. Today we are making just the icing on the cake. Tomorrow we will decorate the cake. And then the next day I will be making the second part of the cake. So please join me, and we're going to create a beautiful cake this week. Thanks. Hey friends, do you want to make a cake this week? Yes, we can crochet a cake. So let's get busy. You're going to need a few supplies, and I'm going to tell you what you can use. I picked up this cake form by Craft Foam at Michael's. This is a 4" by 5.8". So you can see it's very thick on the side. Now I picked up 3 different sizes. These were in the floral department, and I bought these back when Michael's used to have the 40% off coupon. And then I just reuse these. I keep the plastic on it, I never take that off, and I just reuse them for all my cakes. Now before I bought this, I used something different. You can look around your house and see if you might have something that you can use, such as an Ovaltine can. It's just a tiny bit taller, but it's a little bit smaller. Also, I have used this Nesquik can, and I put some white paper on one side of it. I just tape that on so that if I make a white cake, this doesn't show through. You could also look around and find a coffee can or a canister, like the old-fashioned rolled oats come in a canister, or like a cardboard canister. You can just look around your house. You might find some other canister type items that you could use. You could even use a roll of toilet paper. Okay guys, so I'm going to be using my J-hook, and I'm using a Super Saver Red Heart soft white yarn. And it looks like I bought this on clearance. But you know what? You don't need a soft yarn for this. If you have something that's in your stash that you haven't been using because it's rough or scratchy, this is the perfect project for it, because your cake doesn't have to be soft. So I'm using my cake foam today, and I'm going to push it up to the side though to get it out of the way. And you can think about what colors you want to design your cake and make it accordingly. I'm going to be making my cake part white, and my icing will be a different color. So what we need to do is make a slip knot. You can also do the magic ring if you would rather do that, but I am going to do a slip knot. Okay, I'm going to chain 3. And then I'm going to go back into that very first chain and slip stitch. So I pull my yarn through and then pull it through the loop on my hook. Okay, and then I'm going to chain 3. Alright, and now I'm going to do double crochets right in the center of this. So I yarn over, And I'm going to find the center of that and poke my yarn through. Grab my yarn and pull it through the center. Wrap my yarn around, yarn over there. Pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through 2 more loops on the hook. So that's a double crochet. So our chain 3 that we did is going to count as 1 double crochet, and then we did a double crochet. In this same little hole right there in the center, we need to put 12 double crochets. We already have 2. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. This is the 12th one here. Okay, and I'm going to put a stitch marker right here on the very last stitch. Now I want to make sure that I have 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that chain 3, the top of it, that counts as the 12th one, right? So what we need to do is slip stitch into the top of that, chain 3, you just slip stitch into that, and then slip stitch into the hook that's on our, the loop that's on our hook. Now, so we have the center of the cake. Okay, we're going to, for the next row, we're going to chain 3, and we're doing double crochets again, so we yarn over, and we're going to go in that same little hole that's at the top of that chain 3 and put another chain 2 there. So the chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and then we put a double crochet. And now we just go to the very next stitch, and we're going to put 2 double crochets. So that's what we're going to do for this round. We're going to put 2 double crochets in every stitch. So we had 12 double crochets. At the end of this, we're going to have 24 double crochets. Alright, so I'll meet you back when I have my 24 double crochets. Okay, I've made it around putting 2 double crochets in each stitch. I'm at my last stitch now, so I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and I'm going to place 2 double crochets in that stitch. Okay, and this is my last stitch here, so I'm going to put my stitch marker back in there. And there we go. So now we need to do the same thing we did before. Slip stitch into the top of your chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And just pull your yarn through and pull it through to join it. Okay? So there we go. And so now we're on the next round, which is round 3. We are going to chain 3, Okay, and for this round we did this counts as our double crochet. So the next stitch we're going to put 2 double crochets. Right here we put 1 double crochet and 2 double crochets. In the next stitch we're going to put 1 double crochet. In the next stitch we're going to increase and put 2 double crochets. So that's what we're going to do all the way around. In the next stitch we put 1 double crochet, and in the next stitch we put 2 double crochets. So we're repeating that, 1 double crochet and then increase and put 2 double crochets. Okay, 1 double crochet in that stitch, and the next stitch put 2 double crochets for an increase. And I will meet you back when I have finished this round. I'm coming up on the end of round 3, so I just put 2 single crochets in that one. I mean, not single crochets, 2 double crochets, I'm so sorry. In the next stitch I put 1 double crochet, and then in the last stitch I'm going to remove my stitch marker and put 2 double crochets. And then I'm going to put my stitch marker back in so I'll know what the last stitch was. Alright, so now I need to join the ends here. So I'll go to my chain 3 that we started with and count 1, 2, 3, and that's where I'm starting at. Alright, so that's what we have, 3 rows so far. So now we're going to start the 4th row. We're going to chain 3. In the next stitch, let me pull out some yarn. In the next stitch, I'm going to put 1 double crochet. So far we have 1 double crochet in that stitch, which was your chain 3, and you chain 3 and it counts as a double crochet. Then the next stitch we have 1 double crochet. In the next stitch we're going to put 2 double crochets. Okay, so we have 1, 1, increase. So we have 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay, we're going to go 1 double crochet. Oops, let me start that over. One double crochet. The next stitch. I didn't get in the stitch. 1 double crochet. And then in the next stitch needs to be an increase, so we put 2 double crochets. And that's what we're going to repeat all the way around. That was an increase, so the next we put 1 double crochet. And then 1 double crochet in the next. And the next stitch is an increase, so we put 2 double crochets. So repeat that all the way around. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1 increase, whatever way you like to say it, and I will meet you when I get back around here. Okay, I'm almost finished with round 4, so I just did an increase there, and the next stitch is 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then the last stitch is 2 double crochets. Now if your stitch is off a little bit, don't sweat it, just keep going. It's not it won't matter. It's just a cake. Alright, and I'm going to put my stitch marker back in. Okay, so we need to join the 4th row. Oh, my yarn. Alright, so we're going to count up on that chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're just going to slip stitch. Now, if your cake is kind of turned up like this a little bit, that's okay. Just kind of spread it out so that it lays flat, and you will see. Okay, so whatever you're using for your cake piece, you might want to take your crochet piece and lay on it just to see what you have going on there. And so actually, you can see that mine comes right to the edge all the way around. Now, it doesn't come over the edge, it just slightly comes to the edge all the way around. So that's all this cake needs, is 4 rows. Wasn't that easy? Okay, so the next row, we are going to, for row 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be row 5, we are going to double crochet in the back loops only. I'm going to go ahead and do the chain 3, and then the next stitch, I'm just going to, in the back loop only, double crochet, just like that. Okay, so this is your loops right here that I have my hook through. This is the front loop, and this is the back loop. So what we're doing for this row is we yarn over. We're going to go only in the back loop. We're skipping the front loop. So only go in the back loop and pull your yarn through, just and yarn over 2 and 2. And that's what we're doing. So you see it kind of looks loose, but that's okay. It'll bounce back. So that's what we're doing for this row. In the back loop only, 1 double crochet in each stitch. Alright, so I'm going to join you back when I get around to the end of my round. Okay, I'm at my last stitch on round 5. So I'm going to take my stitch marker out, yarn over, and go in the back loop only. That's what we did for the whole row, was back loop only, 1 double crochet. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put my stitch marker back in so I don't forget, and I'll know what is the last stitch. Alright, now if yours cake looks kind of curled up like that, that's okay, because we just need to flip it. Alright, so now we're working on the sides of our cake. So what we're going to do is just kind of turn your cake over, and we're going to be working on the sides. So we need to join this round, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so now we're going to be coming down the side of the cake. So I'm going to chain 3. Now this time we're working in both loops. So on the very next stitch, I'm going to go through both loops and do a double crochet. And a double crochet in the next, and that's what we're going to do all the way around, is 1 double crochet in each stitch. Now, as you're making this, you want to take whatever you're using as your underpiece and every now and then try it on to see how much further you need to go to get to the bottom of your cake. I'm going to pull my loop up just a little bit. Okay, so here is my cake form that I'm using. And here's my cake. Oh, you might say, oh, it's too small. It's not. You just stretch it over. It's going to stretch over. And as we're coming down the side, it's going to form even better. And so we're just going to crochet all the way around with 1 double crochet in each stitch. And then when we get back to our last stitch, we just join it to our chain 3, and start another row. So I can't tell you how many rows you need to do because I don't know the size of your cake form, right? So I am just going to keep going around until I get my sides to the bottom of my cake, my styrofoam cake. So you can do the same. I'll let you know how many rows I did, but if you're not using the exact same size cake form, your number of rows might be different. If you're using something like an Ovaltine can, it was probably about an extra row. If you're using something like a Nesquik can, you'll have a lot more rows. You would have a lot more rows to do to get to the bottom. So this is very easy and very doable. Just keep trying it on your container. When you get to the bottom, I'll be back. Okay, friends, so as you're making your cake, you're working down the sides. I have worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of double crochet, and I just joined on that last row there, and I pulled up my loop so I don't lose that stitch. So I'm going to try that on my cake form just to see how much further I need to go. Now it will be kind of snug as you're putting this on, but that's what you want. You want it to fit tight and not loose. So just stretch it on over. So you can see I need to go at least 1 more row. Okay, you don't want to go longer than your cake form, but you do want to come to the bottom. And you can see on the top where we have our rows 1, 2, 3, and 4 that we did, and then this row is where we did the back loops only, and it's coming down the sides, and that just kind of helps it turn. So if your cake form, if you're using like a coffee can or something like that, and it's slightly bigger, so you might would have went 5 rows on the top and then down. Or if you needed to go 3 rows, if you were using like a oats canister or something, you know, just make it according to the size of yours. If you need to go more rows, you would just done another row of increase on your top to make it bigger. So I'm going to go another row, and then I'm going to try it on again and see how it fits. And that's what I'm doing, and I'll be back. Okay, I did crochet 1 more row at the bottom of my cake, and so it comes right to the bottom, and that's good because the icing is going to cover this up. So on my sides I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of double crochet. Yes, 7 rows. So it's 4 rows on the top and then 7 rows down the side. So that is the last stitch, and we can just go ahead and fasten off. And we are done with the main color of the icing on the cake. So we're going to come back tomorrow and decorate our cake. So please remember to join me tomorrow with your cake, and we will decorate the cake. Thanks, friends. I hope you've enjoyed making the cake, and I will see you all again soon.